Hi, this is Michael Orl from MobileBaron.com, and this is the HTC Sensation 4G for T-Mobile USA. It supports Android 2.3 Gingerbread, a dual-core processor, and it's available for $199.99 on a 2-year contract. So here's the Sensation itself, dominated by a 4.3-inch diagonally measured display. This is QHD, this is quarter 1080p resolution, so that means we've got 540 pixels by 960 pixels. It's a super LCD, so it's not AMOLED or anything like that. Forward-facing camera here that has VGA resolution for video chatting. And then we've got touch-sensitive buttons along the bottom for home, menu, back, and search. Pretty narrow device. It's only about 11.5 millimeters thick, and it weighs just under 151 grams. You can see we've got a volume control here on the left-hand edge, as well as the micro USB connector. 8 megapixel camera and dual LED flash on the back. Nothing too much to see on the right-hand edge. Up top, we've got the power standby button and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. On the bottom, just a little microphone pinhole and the release for the rear cover. And underneath the rear cover, if I can get this off here, you can see we've got a 1520 milliamp hour battery, and that's good for about 8 hours of talk time or up to 16 days of standby time according to T-Mobile and HTC. Micro SD memory card slot there, 8 gig card included, 1 gig internal, SIM card of course. You'll notice the connectors here. The antenna is built into the rear cover, and it fits a little bit differently than most covers do on smartphones. So notice all the contacts all over everywhere, and when you put the device back in, what you have to do is kind of slide it inside. You notice that it's actually cupped there and slides inside the cover and then snaps into position. It's a really cool system. Hit the home button there to get back. If we take a look around the system, you'll notice the 3D effects, kind of the carousel view for the home screens. That's because this is Sense 3.0. It's running on a powerful Snapdragon 1.2 gigahertz dual-core processor, and that's an asymmetric dual-core processor, so each core going to be running at different speeds, unlike the initial batch of Tegra 2 processors used on a lot of tablets and smartphones right now. We've got Wi-Fi, 802.11b, G, and N support, and you'll also notice we've got Wi-Fi calling right here. You can see Wi-Fi calling ready right up there. I'm in a pretty weak T-Mobile signal area right now, but when you have access to it, the device supports HSPA plus data speeds, so that's good for down speeds of 14.4 megabits per second, upload speeds as good as 5.76 megabits per second. The device runs Android Gingerbread 2.3.3, which means it's not quite good enough to run Google Talk video chat. Let's see if I can find the software information right here. There you can see 2.3.3. So hopefully there'll be an update to 2.3.4 soon, so we get the full support for video chat. But you notice we do have the Kick video chat pre-installed. Now with a dual-core 1.2 gigahertz processor, it's no surprise that this device is quite fast. You can see the Linpack test shows it as being capable of a little over 45.5 M-flops. Neo-core came up at around 58 frames per second, and you can see we'll run Quadrant Standard and show you the results there as well. And here you can see the results of the Quadrant benchmark. Its device scored just under 2,000. Not as good as a Samsung Galaxy S2, but still quite speedy. One of the things I want to show you is the interesting lock screens you have here. Right now I've got Photo Gallery set up as my lock screen. So you see a bunch of pictures I've taken. The basic function of the lock screen here is to unlock the device. So you can do that a couple different ways. You can just swipe the ring up, and that'll unlock the device. Or you can actually pull one of the icons down into it, and you can configure these icons to whatever you want. So you can see we've got a message there. I'm going to drag this icon down into the ring, and that'll automatically launch the messaging application. I can then tap here and get a nice view at the threaded SMS system here. Fonts are a little bit smaller, but they're very, very sharp thanks to that quarter HD display. We've got skin support here, so right now I've got a different non-default skin running. That's why you see a bit of the burgundy colors. HTC's own text input system here for the virtual keyboard works nicely. We've got word prediction and correction. Double tap for that space or full stop. Also have landscape support naturally as well. And just send off the message. And before I forget, I want to show you some of the copy and paste functionality. I'm going to long press, and then I can just grab the little handlebars, if you wish to call it that. I've got the zoomed preview there, and then I can just copy it and reuse the text myself, long press, and paste it in. Really nice system. It's also easy just to move the cursor around because you have that same magnified view. So say I want to get rid of that 0. It's pretty easy to do. If I tap on the personalize button here on the home screen, you can see all the different options I have. For example, right down here is the skin, and you can see I've got burgundy set. Go back to the default one, or blue sky, and apply this, and we should see the colors change when the system restarts. And now when we jump in, you can see it's a bit of a dark blue color here instead of the burgundy where it was in the accents, and you'll see that throughout applications such, like the email app and stuff. Here's the lock screen configuration. You can change it the way you want. This is just one it uses a generic wallpaper, it's the default. Here's the photo album, what I'm currently using. You can also use your friend stream feed, which will pull in things from your Facebook and Twitter feeds, weather, stocks, and just a big clock. So let's pull in the social networking one here, apply that, and if I lock and then unlock the device, you'll see various tweets and Facebook updates flying by, and you can take a look at them, swipe through, tap on one. It's kind of cool. Pull it down to the ring and I can immediately access it here. Let's take a look at the home screen. As I showed you, we have that kind of a carousel look to it. You can, of course, always do a pinch gesture. And notice the flipping, cool 3D graphics that are going on as I'm going through the motions here. I'm going to tap through to the gallery widget. This is kind of cool. It's a totally different look than what you might expect to find. Flipping tiles instead of a scrolling list of photos, which I find to be pretty cool. Take a look at some of the other things. Like the HTC Flyer, though, some of these widgets are a little slow to populate. You can see this is an agenda view. One of the cool things you can do, though, is you can take one of these widgets and drag it down to edit and then reconfigure it. And say I no longer wanted the main account there, and I was just going to leave Facebook there. It'll pull up the view, and I'm only going to see Facebook calendar updates now. If I can remove it completely, and then I can add something new by long pressing or using the customize button. And let's go and do the same thing. We'll do the HTC calendar, but I'm going to choose the default view, and you can see we've got a couple to choose from. Little small one here, the full-size agenda one in the middle that I was using, and this one. And I'll select that just so we can see what it looks like. And there it is. If I want to get to the main menu, I just tap down here. The main menu has a couple different tabs. You can see right now I'm in the downloaded tab, so it's only showing me things that I've downloaded and installed myself. We've got recent or frequent applications, and then here's the full list. And like we've seen on some other HTC devices lately, it scrolls in full pages. You can even see the little gray line right down here. So it makes it a little bit easier to keep track of where you are when you're scrolling through a long list of apps. You also have a list view, though, which is kind of nice. you can skip ahead by letter just like you would in a contacts list. But I still prefer the grid look. Task Manager. 768 megabytes of RAM in this device. Pretty good. Not as much as Samsung's Galaxy S2, but still quite a bit of RAM for a smartphone. You can quickly kill off applications here. You can see Wi-Fi calling is running, music, visual voicemail. I'm going to kill off mail just to show you how it works, and maybe contacts too. And we're done with messaging, so let's get rid of that as well. Hit home to get out of it. I'll swipe over a panel here. We're going to see this is the HTC Watch widget. With this you can buy or rent videos, movies, television shows, whatever. I'm going to tap through here to get to the main system. This is the main watch store. You can see there are plenty of things to choose from here. Jack Black's School of Rock. You can buy it for $8.99. Some titles can be rented as well. So you can see this one can be rented for $3.99 or bought for $14.99.